Have you ever felt like you're very smart, yet still not achieving the results you want? Rio is a perfect example of that. He was a boy with outstanding ability, a quick learner, and a big dream of becoming a doctor. Everyone believed his future would be successful. However, his biggest problem was not his ability, it was his own mind. Every time Rio sat down at his desk to study, he found himself distracted by everything around him. Sometimes it was his phone, other times Facebook or YouTube, and at times it was simply his own wandering thoughts. He kept telling himself, "There's still plenty of time I can study later," but that later never actually came. Even though his teachers and parents constantly reminded him of the importance of focus, Rio believed that being smart alone was enough to succeed. His lack of discipline and self-control quietly pulled him further away from his goals, no matter how much potential he truly had. Rio always believed he was smart enough that he did not need to work as hard as everyone else. He thought that as long as he had natural ability, success would come sooner or later. So whenever it was time to study, Rio would often comfort himself by thinking that there was still plenty of time and he could always study later. But that very mindset caused him to procrastinate again and again, slowly making him lose the seriousness he once had toward his goals. While his friends studied consistently and kept pushing forward day by day, Rio became so overconfident that he forgot success does not come from intelligence alone. That carelessness made him miss many chances to improve, and that was Rio's biggest mistake. He valued talent highly, but underestimated discipline and steady effort. When the scholarship results were announced, Rio failed. That moment left him stunned and deeply disappointed, because he knew he was not lacking in intelligence. Watching his friends succeed through hard work, Rio realized that the problem was never his ability, but his own laziness and lack of discipline. That failure became a turning point in his life, helping him understand that if he did not change, his dreams would remain nothing more than dreams. If you see yourself in Rio, do not wait for failure to force you to change. Take action today. After that painful failure, Rio could no longer keep living with the same overconfidence as before. For the first time, he truly faced himself and admitted that the problem was not his intelligence, but his lack of discipline and focus. Rio understood that if he did not change, he would remain stuck in the same place forever. So he decided to find someone who could help him rebuild from the root of it all, his mind. That was when Rio came to Coach Miller, a mentor known not only for teaching physical training, but also for helping students develop strong focus and willpower. Instead of giving long lectures, Coach chose to teach through real experience. One afternoon, he took Rio to the sports field. He placed a target in the distance, then handed Rio a small bow. "Hit the center of the target," Coach said. Rio obeyed. He raised the bow, aimed, and fired. But the arrow flew off course. Coach calmly asked, "What were you looking at when you took the shot?" Rio answered honestly, "I was looking at many things. The trees around me, the field, and the target too." Coach gently shook his head and said, "That is exactly your problem. You are trying to look at too many things at once." He continued, his voice low but firm. "A person who wants to hit the target looks only at the target, nothing else. If your eyes are scattered, your arrow will be scattered too." Rio fell silent. Coach looked straight at him and added, "Life is the same. When you study but let your mind chase after your phone, social media, or meaningless thoughts, you are pulling yourself away from your goal. It is not that you are not capable, it is that you have not learned how to focus." Those words felt like a wake-up call. Rio realized that all this time, he had not been failing because he lacked ability, but because he kept letting his mind be pulled in every direction. That moment became a turning point. Rio understood that if he wanted different results, he had to learn to control his attention to focus on one goal only, just like aiming at the center of the target. After realizing his problem, Rio became determined to change, but he still did not know where to begin. That was when Coach Miller gave him a clear path through 4 simple yet highly effective principles. Coach said, "Rio, discipline is not something complicated. If you just do a few small things right every day, your life will change." Rio listened carefully. Coach explained the first principle: learn to control your thoughts. When your mind starts to wander, pull it back immediately. Rio asked, "But how can I do that?" Coach replied, "Just remind yourself, this is study time. I need to focus. Repeat that long enough, and it will become natural." The second principle was building habits. Create a fixed daily routine. When you study at the right time and rest at the right time, your brain will begin to adapt on its own. Then Coach emphasized the third principle. Remove everything that distracts you. Your phone, social media, they are stealing your time. Rio nodded. For the first time, he truly understood the harm of things that had once seemed harmless. Finally, Coach said, most importantly, be persistent. No result comes in a single day. But if you keep doing the right things every day, you will definitely change. Those teachings became Rio's guiding principles. Starting with small actions, he began rebuilding his discipline, step by step, growing stronger and more steady each day. After many months of consistently applying the principles taught by Coach Miller, Rio gradually became a completely different person. From a boy who was easily distracted and quick to give up, he was now able to sit and study for hours with intense focus. He was no longer controlled by his phone or social media. Instead, he had learned how to take control of his own mind. The small habits he built each day slowly formed a strong foundation for a major transformation. When the next important exam arrived, Rio walked into the room with a completely different mindset. There was no more anxiety, no more uncertainty. He approached each question with confidence and absolute focus, handling everything calmly and clearly. And in the end, the results spoke for themselves. Rio not only passed the exam, but ranked at the top with outstanding performance. Standing on stage to receive his scholarship, Rio felt deeply emotional. In that moment, he did not think about his intelligence, but about the days he spent building discipline, the moments he struggled with himself to stay focused. And above all, he thought of Coach Miller, the person who had changed his life. After the ceremony, Rio went to see Coach and said with heartfelt gratitude, "Coach, thank you. Without you, I would still be someone who cannot control himself." Coach smiled gently and replied, "It wasn't me who changed you, Rio. You chose to change. I only showed you the path. You were the one who walked it." Those words made Rio realize that success does not come from anyone else, but from one's own determination and discipline. From that day on, Rio always remembered one principle. If you train your mind, you can achieve anything in life. Success is not something distant. It is the result of small actions repeated every day with discipline and persistence. If you found this story meaningful, comment 9.